After 2 years, regular in-person auditions are finally becoming the norm again. Actors Equity Association recently announced that they will now let employers hold in-person auditions. So as we begin to creep toward normalcy, I thought it would be a good idea to refresh ourselves on some of the top audition tips we need to know, especially in 2022. If this is your first time seeing my face, hi! My name is Kat, and I really like musicals. If you really like musicals, hit subscribe to join the musical theater internet cult. Not a real cult. Again, I cannot emphasize this enough. Thanks to Backstage for sponsoring this video. Backstage is the quickest way to find your next audition, but we'll talk about them a little bit later. Question of the day, what's a piece of audition advice that really had an impact on you? Share it in the comments down below. Okay, let's get this show on the road and talk about some audition advice. If you're someone like me who struggles with audition nerves, try to pinpoint exactly what's making you nervous, because you'll be shocked at how much of the time it's something totally fixable. Like 9 times out of 10 when I've been super nervous, it's been because I was singing something totally out of my comfort zone, or I was wearing an outfit I felt uncomfortable in, or straight up I just wasn't as prepared as I could have been. And all 3 of those problems are super easily remedied, and that attributes to like 90% of my nerves. So figure out what the problem is and fix it if you can. Another piece of advice, be over-prepared. Preparing your audition material is one of the only aspects of the audition process that you have control over. So take advantage of it. Definitely don't over-rehearse, like don't practice it so many times that you become a robot, but know what you're going to do in the room and practice it enough times that way so that it feels good and you remember it in your body, if that makes sense. Something I've been seeing a lot are people feeling really disheartened because their voice or their stamina, their flexibility, their athleticism, whatever it is, isn't where it was back in 2019. Your voice is a muscle. Personally, I think performance is also kind of a muscle. So if you're not where you'd like to be, please go easy on yourself. Just don't give yourself a hard time. And remember, these things take time. They don't come back overnight. Completely switching gears, when you're in the audition room, take your time. So many people, when they're nervous, will rush in and out of that room so fast. I'm super guilty of it. This is literally your appointment. This is your time. So take it up. And while you're there, try to make a connection with the panel and with anyone else that you might be working with, like another actor, a reader, someone you might be partnered up with, anyone in that vein. It'll help build just a little bit of chemistry, which actually really shines through in a room full of strangers auditioning together. Remember to give yourself a beat at the beginning and end of your material. It's way less awkward. It gives you a second to prep. It gives the panel a second to prep. It's way smoother. And if you're singing a song, make sure that your accompanist knows what their cue is, like when to start playing. An easy way to get into it, when you're at the piano, tell your accompanist that when you look up, that'll be the cue. So you'll cross on over to the X, you'll slate, you'll look down, take a breath, take a moment to get into character, and then when you look up, your accompanist knows that's their cue. That's just one way to do it and my personal favorite, but there's a bunch of other ways you can do it. Something that's always been kind of a golden rule but bears reminding now, double check all the instructions, all the information. I know basic, but I felt the need to say it because I feel like I've been brushing past terms and conditions for the last 2 years. I haven't been outside the house, so I haven't had like important things to remember, and now that I'm doing things again, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is actually important information. When it comes to audition attire, aka what to wear something that's in the same vibe as the character, but absolutely not a costume. And more importantly, I think that you need to wear something that you feel amazing in, because that confidence absolutely shines through. Also, the really little things that we really stress over don't matter. Your nail polish color will not be the deciding factor whether or not you get the role, and if it really matters that much to them, they'll tell you. One of the most valuable pieces of advice I've learned when it comes to auditioning is trying my best to zoom out of the situation and really look at the big picture, look at the grand scheme of things. Try to remember that this one audition really isn't a big deal. Look, it is so hard to not get invested when you've poured so much of yourself and your time and your energy and your artistry into an audition, but I found that it's really helpful to try to keep some distance. And I found that's when I'm doing my best work. that's when I feel the most fulfilled in my life, and that's when I'm not letting my career just kind of ragdoll me around. So maybe try giving yourself some distance, or as Jason Bateman calls it, giving an audition some sexy indifference. Because you gotta remember, there is always another audition just around the corner. And you can find your next audition with today's sponsor. Hi, this video is sponsored by Backstage. No, I'm not talking about that place in the back of the theater where you could have sworn you left your jacket. I'm talking about the website for actors. Backstage is a great place to find your next audition and apply for casting calls worldwide. And Backstage is for everyone, from student filmmakers all the way to major networks like HBO, NBC, and Netflix. This is what the app version looks like. It's super simple to use. Casting calls come through here in the main feed. Just scroll through the filter and fill it out to quickly find auditions that fit your needs. Plus, you can audition without even leaving the house. Backstage has traditional in-person calls, self-tape submissions, and virtual live auditions. And they've got plenty of opportunities, including voiceover and work from home jobs. They even made a whole section for it. So if you want to get started, click the link in the description box or head to backstage.com and use code CAF to get your first month of Backstage for $5. Thanks to Backstage for sponsoring this segment. And now, back to the video. So those are just a few audition tips. I want to hear from you. What is some audition advice you think everyone should hear, especially right now? Share it in the comments down below. If you're new here, hit subscribe, join the musical theater internet cult. Again, we are not a real cult. I hope you're having a great day. I love you so, so much. Break a leg, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!